Hello and welcome to your 16th edition of Skyline Sunday. Yeah, somehow this has only been 16 episodes and we've done all this. It's what you get for having these long episodes with a lot of speed building, I suppose. Anyway, what is our goal for today, you might ask? Well, I'm going to pull up our sheet so we can look at it. So, we have recently hit 80,000 people, and according to our plan, it is time to make a second circular train line. Now, back at, I guess it would have been, it's on here somewhere, but 30,000. We did the first orbital train line, which if you look at the sort of this blue and purple pair, that was what that was. And it's still not fully hooked up to the city. You can see there's still like some stations like this one that are not being used yet. But that's alright, because we build for expansion. And now you're wondering, well, how are we going to build one even further out that's going to be even more remote and unused compared to the first one? Well, I have a little bit of a plan for that. And what I intend to do, and I think I mentioned this in the previous episode, but instead of making the second train line a traditional rail line like this, I was thinking I would make it a monorail line. Oh, yes. And the reason for that, well, there's a few reasons. Number one, it's a lot less disruptive and takes up a lot less space than a traditional rail line. And number two, I think it would be fun to have it be the anchor of a ring of urbanization going around the city. Like, it won't all be urban, but a lot of it will, because that's what monorails are good for, connecting highly populated areas. So a lot of it will be built on highways or boulevards such as this, but not all of it. So what I plan to do, and you might be thinking that's a very long way for one monorail line, but here's the other element of it. You see, if you look at our view here, well, it'd be better if we go here. We have our hub station, to which we have, about 2/3 of the lines begun. All of these lines will intersect with our monorail at some point or another. And I think those intersection points would be a good spot to stop one monorail line and start the other. They will run on the same continuous track, but that is a good method to keep the trains from becoming too long. And yes, we do have to we do have to build some of these lines that were never actually built in the first place. And I think that is going to be the way that we extend these out and have them somewhere to go. And I think it's going to be cool and good. Now, I want to point something out before we started. Remember at the end of the last episode, I was freaking out about this intersection and how it was not working so well. Well, it turns out all I had to do was take this and move it from here to there and retime this a little bit and do a couple other very minor adjustments, and now it works. It just swimmingly. It's kind of funny how easy that actually was to fix. And the other thing is, just admire the sheer craziness of this intersection. Just like, we had this street first, I think. Well, technically I think this street was first, but that's not really part of this. This street was first, and then I had the circular highway, I had the highways coming over here to the cargo hubs, and then I have our surface boulevard. And just building one thing at a time, we end up with this craziness. So I think before we get started with our monorail line, it might behoove us to develop this area, because I always like to develop an area before starting in on a project. Now, I actually do want our monorail line to go through this island, kind of like this. It's going to swoop in some areas, but for the most part, stay out. So what I'm going to do is have the monorail come out through here and out through up here, I think. But then we will develop this area. So let's have some fun. Well, that is quite nice, isn't it? I think this area turned out rather well. And that's another 3,600 residents for our city. It's actually pretty evenly divided between all three types here, so it's a pretty balanced island. So you might have noticed that we did do some elements of our monorail here. It will continue on in different directions. So I think I'm going to start over here, and I'm going to have it go through here, up through this area, and then through here somewhere. It's going to go up. Again, I'm not exactly sure where it's going to go. And it's going to have avenues. It's going to be over the avenue for a good portion of it, but not all of it. Like, once it gets over here, it might go along the road. So we're going to do some building. We're going to see what happens. So please sit back and enjoy this goodness.
The only love walk for real. We're gonna play some pool, skip some school, act real cool, stay out all night, it's gonna feel alright. So Rosie, come out tonight. Oh baby, come out tonight. Windows are for cheaters, chimneys for the poor, old closets are for hangers, women use the door. So use the Rosie, that's what it's there for. And Rosalita, dump a little lighter. Senorita, come sit by my fire. I just wanna be your love and no lie. Rosalita, you're my sole desire. Alright.
Okay, our circular monorail line is done. And let me just show you some of the features of this new monorail. As we saw earlier in the episode, it comes, it does like a bit of a looping whoosh through our island that we developed earlier. Then it comes over here, and it becomes an avenue monorail, and it just makes pretty much a straight line across what we have over here, this flat area that is not developed yet. There's a lot of stuff here that is pretty straightforward that we've made, but as you'll see, and as you did see, it does not remain such. So once we get to this point, we have our first intersection with our with the rail line. This one, I believe, we do not even no, we have created it. We just need to create one station further. So then going through the mountain gap that we created for our park district, it dances with the park, which sounds a lot more romantic than it is. Actually, no, it's very romantic. A train, a park, in a rail, in a little little mountain pass. That's kind of romantic, right? Oh, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Yeah, he's chill. Anyway, we now have a another rail line. This one needs to be expanded pretty far. I also have this just because future use might require this to exist, so who knows. But anyway, this makes a turn and goes off in this direction, becoming an avenue again as it crosses one of our highways. This, which will probably eventually be connected to further canals out in this direction, goes through our mountain up here. It sort of took over part of this road, as you might remember. So we have that going. It makes an abrupt turn, heading up the hill behind all this. Our university over here will have its own station, which is very helpful for people who might attend. And even this town will see the benefits of this station. So here it continues up through the hills, having a station up here at the verge of this town, over the mountains. You might have noticed I put down this just because eventually there will be a second beltway, and you can actually have roads go over train stations if you have them high enough. So I figured, why not just reserve this spot for the beltway when it goes through. And this is the reservoir management zone. The idea was to have nothing, no development here, but we do have a station here. So there is that. It continues over here. This town, Daffodil Park, now has its own station, which is very cool for the residents there. And it turns into an avenue once again as it goes over the mountains. It connects to this rail line, which doesn't exist yet, but will soon be one of the most important rail lines in our city because, remember, our second downtown's going over here, so this will connect the second downtown with our initial hub over here, so that will allow people to get around. That is very useful of it. And then it comes over here and once again dances with the park. And yes, another rail line that I don't think we've built this one at all, but that's going to be changing very soon. Then, once it crosses here, it turns back into a avenue road thingy thing, all the way through these areas which we have not developed, making a big loop around until eventually coming back in to go to this island. So yeah, what we have here is a huge ring, and like I said before, I don't want to make it all one line because that would be way too much. The game might freak out. The potential for like things to get stuck and then the entire traffic system of the city to just collapse on itself is much higher if you do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to zone it up in little segments. Well, zone it up, I mean, we're going to connect it in little segments. And then we are going to make sure all the rails are extended. So, just out of fun, before we do any of that, we're going to look at what we have going on now in terms of we only have 4 monorail lines right now. It's by far not the most used system in our country. The monorail line 1 is the most used, and it has no name, which is very sad. So I propose that we name it. This one goes from Broad and Washington to where? It goes over here. I remember that. To whatever this is called. Chestnut Hills. Is that the name? Broadwash to Chestnut. And I'm going to give it a let's give it a bold pink. We have the Pink Pony Club on rails. Isn't that nice? And then we have 2 small lines. So that's all we have in terms of monorail right now. And as you can see, the total we've got is not super high. Rails a bit higher. If we sort them by passenger line, our busiest line has no name. Isn't that disappointing? So what is this? The red line? Oh yeah, this goes to our new area. It's like wherever we've had new stuff, we've had the red line. So let's just call it the red line for now. It doesn't matter. But let's make sure it has enough cars while we're at it. It does. So the main point I wanted to show you is because we're going to do a bit of a before and after comparison. So this is what it looks like before we do any of the work. So we're about to do the work now. And once I do the work, I'm going to pick an area and develop it just to celebrate the completion of our stuff. So let's do that now.
She don't like me, 'cause I play in a rock and roll band. And I know your daddy don't dig me, but he never did understand.
Okay, so we now have the town of Hickory Ridge. I feel there's something called Hickory, something else somewhere in the city, but it's Hickory Ridge here, and the other one was called, it was probably Square or Park or something, but I like Ridge better. It fits in on the edge of this canal and this hill, and is super chill, has a park going through it, so I think it's a pretty nice place. But of course, the main aspect here was drastically increasing our transportation system. So we're going to go and check to see how it's doing. So we're going to sort things by name, right? And so here's our circle lines. And as you can see, all of them with the exception of number 6 have passengers. Number 3 has the most. So let's find out where it is right now. It's there. Which way does it go? Is it you? Yeah, it's you. So it's the one that takes people in this direction, and that makes sense because you can see that there's actual stations with power and water and stuff, and it connects to this, which is the hub-to-hub line. And you can see these people, they don't have a new downtown to go to yet, so they're coming here to use this line. So that's pretty cool. That is our most used line at the moment. So if we go back here, let's take a look at number 6, the one with no passengers, and see if we can figure out why. And I think I know the reason. Well, actually I'm a little surprised. Okay, there's not literally no passengers. But, yeah, for the most part, it travels across terrain where we do not have any development. So, let alone water or power. Well, we do have water, because I made sure to put water under all the tracks, but, yeah, they don't have power, so they're not being used. But we do have a very happy new system of circular lines, and with the exception of this one, which does actually have passengers. I don't know why it's saying there's none. It doesn't have many, but it doesn't have none. But they're all being used. Oh, I guess I really do have none. I did see passengers, though. Okay. I'm a little confused. Oh, that's circle 1. What am I talking about? Where's circle 3 then? Oh, I am a silly goober. Circle 6, I mean. Where is circle 6? Oh, it goes this way. Oh. Okay. Oh, this one just has no water. Oh my. Do you see this crap? Do you see? Okay. So it's going to have some passengers from now on. But that's not even the one I'm talking about. This one goes up here and around to there. Alright. I understand now. This one has no development. So it really is the one that doesn't go anywhere. Is very, very fine that it does for now. So the other thing to check is our rail lines. We created 2 new ones. And I'm trying to remember where they were. Oh yeah, these 2. As you can see, they're being used. It's all very good. So if you want, we can compare the numbers from before to now. But yeah, I remember this was like a total of around 1,000 total, and now the residents alone are above that. So, and this was more along the lines of the subway, so that's gone up by another 500 or so people. So, by and large, we've already increased transport connections in the city just by what we've done, let alone building any new zones, which, apart from Hickory Ridge, we haven't actually expanded the city since building all that. But yeah, just having all that, like for instance, we can look over here. Is anyone using these stations? 2 people are. So it's like, yeah, there's just a few people. So that is our biggest goal now, and just for the sake of balance, I think we should build something on the opposite end of all that, right? So I want that to be sort of the thing that we finish out the episode with. We might as well, I mean, it would make more sense to build something on the actual line, but I feel like, I don't know, it might just be easy. We can do the Birch District between Chestnut and Strawberry. Yeah, we want this to be a farming area, primarily. Let's do organic and local produce. We'll do farming, of course. And if we go into residential, we can have the self-sufficient buildings. That's going to make everything look sort of like this. But I think this is like the trio for a good farm district. The self-sufficient buildings, farming, of course, and local produce. I think that just makes a lot of sense. So what if we do this like, what if we ban high rises? We're just going to make this a low, and I've not done this anywhere else. So we're going to be this low and chill. And let's see, a small business enthusiast. It's going to be a pretty chill place. Encourage biking, sure. And let's do tax relief for low density residential. And for commercial. Where is that? There it is. Yeah. And let's make this for, potheads. They can go to like the local produce thing and go, alright, I think that's probably, we'll do these kind of nice things. Alright, good enough. Birch District it is. We will develop this, and this will be the final of the episode.
Down to the shore. Homecoming can only come so soon. It's time to go back in time and come run away with me. I hope you are still alive, though it ain't 1955. I would be right there by your side if I was born in 39. Maybe we could build a boat and sail across the sea. But you're far away from me, not just by length, but by an eternity. I can see your face, your hairspray hair and polka dotted dress. I got suspenders, got my thick rimmed glasses, and my hair's a mess. But you don't care, we just sip our milkshakes and theorize about the moon. Listen to Perry Como, I get jealous as you swoon. Homecoming can only come so soon. It's time to go back in time and come run away with me. I hope you are still.
Well, I do believe that brings us to the end of the episode. Now, we did happen to build the Birch District right during a time where the city really isn't in the mood to grow, but it's alright. It'll grow eventually. It always does, It's just takes a little bit sometimes. But that's okay. I think it's turned out pretty well. It's going to be a chill little spot, and it's going to contrast nicely with the high rises on this side of the avenue. So it's going to be a fun spot for people. So, like I said, this does bring us to the end of the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Next time, we are very likely to cross 100,000 residents. And if you remember what is stated on our list, that is the point at which we build our secondary downtown. So that's going to be a very large development in our city that will create lots of effects. I mean, this whole area, it's going to have a huge impact on the rest of the city, including, well, this is a hint right here that we're going to have a lot more rail lines branching off from here. So, get excited for that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.